Good evening and assalamu alaikum, which means may peace be upon you. Thanks a lot for giving me the opportunity, and I'm sure I can't repeat the stuff, and I totally agree with the previous speakers, what they've said, and the way Bishop and Richard has articulated, you know, how the politics is moving and how it's shaping the future of Britain as well. There's a lot of changes. I mean, it's good to live in a dynamic society where things constantly change, but I hope things are changing for the better and not for the worse. But lately we've seen some really negative developments in Britain. I came to the United Kingdom in 1997 for education, to further my education, and to be honest, things have actually gone down the hill since then for me. I mean, my neighbours used to look at me in a different way. I had a lot more friends, you know, from other communities. I still do have friends, a lot of friends from other communities as well. But things have changed. The way people look at me, just by looking at me, you know, my appearance and what have you. And they're always sort of reassured after speaking to me that I'm not the typical Pakistani or the typical Muslim, and I take it as an insult, because there's no such thing as a moderate Muslim or a modern Pakistani for that matter. I am Pakistani, I am Muslim, I am British, and I'm proud of it. And all these identities are there for me as a strength, because, you know, these cultures behind me, the education behind me, the family background behind me, the religious upbringing behind me has created the person that I am. The reason why I'm talking about myself is because if we all start thinking about ourselves first and trying to reform ourselves first, I think, you know, it will be easier to speak and approach other people and form a bigger community as well. On a lighter note, just because the event, you know, the clue is in the title, you know, Stand Up to UKIP, there are some facts and figures that I'd like to share with you. I fully believe one of the top 10 most hated brands in the UK, believe it or not, #1, along with, I'll come to #1, but along with McDonald's and KFC's and Marmite, #1 is UKIP, actually, believe it or not. Now, that reassures me that the common sense eventually in this country will prevail. Hatred and the hate preachers and people with negative minds and negative attitude towards others will have to fail. This is my faith in the future of Britain. I would like to quote a couple of quotes as well from somebody that I'm greatly inspired, and lots of people don't perhaps know him. His name is Liu Xiaobo, and he was the Nobel Peace Prize nominee and winner as well. And Liu Xiaobo is a Chinese literary critic, writer, professor, and a human rights activist who called for political reforms and the end of communist single-party rule in China. He is currently incarcerated as a political prisoner and lives in Jinhao province. His quote is quite extraordinary to me, because it's so precise in the society that we live in as well. I mean, even though he hasn't lived in Britain, but most things, I think people, you don't have to live in certain circumstances to experience exactly, you know, similar sort of circumstances. And what he says is, he says, hatred is corrosive of a person's wisdom and conscience. The mentality of enmity can poison a nation's spirit, instigate brutal life and death struggles, destroy a society's tolerance and humanity, and block a nation's progress to freedom and democracy. I think it's about time that we all stood together and preached in a way like the bishop would normally do on a Sunday, but preach to our family and friends with regards to other communities. Speak to them if they have friends and ask them of their experiences, if they have their first-hand experience. Have you ever, I mean, most of people here, I'm sure, I mean, again, it's trying to convert to, preach to the converted. I think you people, I'm sure, have friends from other communities, but there are lots of, it's not surprising that most people who are Islamophobic or homophobic or xenophobic come from communities which are away from the communities where they're integrating and they're living together. It's not surprising. So the people who are living, for example, in communities like Beeston or Hare Hills for that matter, or Chapeltown, where there's a lot of people coming from different communities, you will find these kind of negative feelings to the minimal, because they're dealing with those people firsthand and they have common friends and what have you. I think what we need to do, there's a lot of misconceptions about UKIP. People who vote UKIP, and Richard is absolutely spot on, are actually misled as well sometimes. They think it's some sort of a party which is, because other parties, I mean, I'm a Labour Party member, but honestly, I can say one thing, apolitically, all the parties have actually failed previously when it comes to Islamophobia, when it comes to xenophobia, when it comes to tackling the real issues of our lives. And this is one of the reasons why we are in a situation where ordinary people think that perhaps people like Nigel Farage can be their messiah and be their savior and get them out of these bad times. It's very unfortunate, but it is a fact. So we need to be engaging with the people. Just a quick thing that I'd like to advertise as well. I'm also part of the focus group of an organization called MEND. MEND stands for Muslim Engagement and Development. They're doing some excellent work with regards to Islamophobia, and not just Islamophobia. They're getting all people of all faiths together and people with no faiths together to fight, the common enemy and respond with love. And for that, we are holding a meeting at the Leeds Civic Hall on, please write it down, 6th of March, 6:30 p.m. So you're all invited. If you can come, please do come and find out more about the real facts, what happens in a day-to-day lives of most Muslims and how they see, looking through the eyes of people from other faiths and whatever you as well, and not your ordinary white Caucasian people living in the UK. And I find I'm very proud of the Yorkshire, that I've chosen Yorkshire, that I've come to live in Yorkshire. I love Leeds, I love Yorkshire, I love Britain. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Right, the next